We have Coach Ginn on the Zoom. Coach, thanks for coming on. And usually when we get together, it's more of a joyful time. But we're going to talk about the great Leonard Jackson, who transitioned about a week ago. And what legacy did he leave as the commissioner of the Senate?
First, that I would think of that everything is possible. You know, you can achieve anything that you want. I think he left. I always talk about he was proud and he was private. You know what I'm saying? But he was always proud and always had hope for the city and the kids and the school system and all the communities in Cleveland. He was a Cleveland guy, and the legacy that you can achieve whatever, at the highest level, I think that's one thing legacy that I think he left.
You talked about him being a Cleveland guy. What does that mean? Somebody, and it's particularly Leonard being a Cleveland guy. What did that mean for the rest of the community?
Well, to me, see, I've been knowing him part of my childhood and all of my adult life, and all I know about him is Cleveland. From the 60s to now. He came up through the ranks in the city of Cleveland. You will always find him in the city, in every part of Cleveland, whether it was the hood or the suburban areas, whatever. He never ever got away from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And he strived for us to be the best, all the students, all the people that he have touched. And when it come down to the politics of Cleveland, he was in all that. He wanted the best, and he loved Cleveland, even though he wasn't from here. But all I know about him is Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
He contributed to a lot of positive things when it comes to the athletics. The budget, he helped upgrade some athletic facilities, made sure that a lot of Black officials were hired and participated. And I mean, I can go on and on of the things he's done. But what are some other things that you, because he had a tough job. So what are some of the other things you're proud of, some concrete things that he was able to establish in his more than 30 years at his position?
Well, I think the Senate, sports, the Senate, the basketball, the track, the football, the expectations that he wanted us to have, just wanted for us to be recognized, as a city and sports and athletics, all that, I think that, but one of the main things that he contributed, and I'm kind of personal with it, was the drive that he put inside of people like myself, you know what I'm saying? To be excellent, to show the world and the state and the city that we're somebody, you know what I'm saying, in sports. But not only just that's in life, teaching me that, losing and not achieving it was not an option, and we have to be professional with it. All that kind of stuff, man, it was mandated from him for myself, you know, it was a hard job, like you said, because a lot of time people would look at him. No favoritism,
Right.
favoritism, especially for me. He thought I was still the kid back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm grown and got kids and grandkids, but he never looked at me like that. He demanded things from me. He demanded things because people are looking at you, and I want you to make sure that you do the right thing. You know, even though he took a lot of flack, uh, you know, uh, you know, like making it one Senate, you know, and giving us the opportunity to be able to go to the playoffs and different things. He had a reason for everything that he done. You know, he got tired of us going downstate. Just little stuff like that, getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not having an opportunity to achieve in playoffs and be recognized like that. You know, had a standard and tried to have a standard for coaching and education and all that. You know, he helped me tremendously. You know, I don't care what it looked like on the front end. You know, I know what was happening on the back end. He was in me. He was at me. You the representative of other people, of our people. You are representing the hope for everybody. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get in this position. He'll tell me I didn't get in this position for you to fail and you not to be a professional person. Those are conversations I've had. You understand? You know, whether people know it or not. You know what I'm saying? And he had to put himself in a position to serve everybody. But you know, he kept his foot on my neck for excellence. You know, so.
So you brought up about the one Senate, and I've often heard him talk about that. What did he mean by that? By just one Senate?
You know, that we can compete against ourselves and give us an opportunity to play against ourselves and be proud in our Senate, and then give us opportunity to go to play in the playoffs and all these kind of things. Instead of running to these big schools and getting beat up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Never have an opportunity to play in the state playoffs and stuff like that. You know, on all levels. You know, so and especially in football, I know that. You know.
What about the you know, one thing I know he was really proud of, and it was unique in itself, and that's when the Senate as a conference, when the student athletes would announce what schools they were going to, instead of it being at the individual schools, he had it all together, as you saying, one Senate. When did this start, and how did this all come about, and why was that important to Leonard Jackson that you did it as a conference instead of individual schools?
I think, you know, in the beginning, you know, I kind of started that
Mm-hmm.
the Senate, and he kind of felt that it wasn't fair that just Glenville is doing that. He think all kids should be recognized. So I know that after once or twice I started doing it, he wanted to make sure that everybody get the same recognition, you know, and that's how he was, you know. You know, whatever one get, he think everybody should get a piece of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he was. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wanted it for everybody. But I'm
Now,
sure that
I was saying, despite you all having a good relationship, I mean, it wasn't always cookies and ice cream. I mean, if Leonard had an opinion about something, he'd tell you about it, right?
no, it was never a cookie and ice cream for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, so mine was totally different. You know, what people might think, you know, he treated me just like his son. He demanded stuff from me. And then he'll sit back in the corner and look at me and go, point a finger at me and say, all right, long as, you know, because he know that means he's proud. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, you know, he demanded stuff from me. He didn't ask me nothing, he told me. You know,
That's all right.
and that's come from after he done beat me up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you know, that's when paddling was still in.
Right.
So he been taking care of me that long. And it was never favoritism for me. I always used to think that everybody else was getting favoritism than me because you stay in my behind so much. You know what I'm saying? But he loved me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he always used to tell me that you're the example. You understand? You're the example for hope for everybody else. And you have to do it a certain way. Certain things he say you don't need. You don't need that. You know, you don't need an MVP trophy. You don't need to be coach of the year. You don't need that. So none of that stuff never bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's always for somebody else. Let somebody else have that. I mean, that's how he treated me, you know, because you're the front runner and you got to make sure it's right, you know, so. And that comes from just being around him ever since a kid and all of my adult life, you know. Yeah.
That's awesome. When you heard the news about Mr. Jackson, what was your reaction?
For me or Coach G?
For you, I've talked to G already. He's just on here watching you.
I was shocked, man, more than anything. I couldn't believe it. I seen it on Aaron Nichols' sister. She had it on her little page on Facebook. And I was just more in disbelief than anything. Like, you know, I don't know what happened. And it was really just a big shock more than anything. You know, I mean, Mr. Jackson has been a staple in the Cleveland public school, you know, system. And then as far as being around Glenville, it seemed like he was always around us too.
Yeah. That it's certainly. You know, Coach Ginn will definitely echo that because they have a long history.
No doubt.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, and I really don't ask questions about it. I mean, we don't know what God have in stores for any of us, so we just, you know, I just pray for his family, and my thoughts and prayers go out to them. And, you know, I know during this time it's really difficult for anybody to do anything or, you know, see anybody or do any, you know what I'm saying, any of that. So it's just crazy right now.
Right, and that's what we're doing. You know, this is a celebration of his life and the impact that he had on the Senate and in the Cleveland community. Do you remember when you first met him or maybe first heard him? Because, you know, he had a deep voice. He definitely catch your attention.
Hey. Yeah. Hey, boy, what you doing? Hey, what's going on, Pierre? I think the first time I really remembered him was my sophomore year in high school. We played South High School. I think we played them on the west side. It was a night game. That was my first memory of Mr. Jackson, and just a big, cool cat, you know, laid back, and, you know, he wanted so much for the kids in the inner city.
Yeah.
Anytime I seen him, you know, when I was in high school, in college, even in the pros, it's always been the same. Hey, Pierre, how you doing? You know, what's been going on? Well, how your family doing? You know, hey, you see what Glenville doing, right? So that's always been Mr. Jackson, and, you know, he'll definitely be missed.
How important was it, Pierre, do you think, to have someone like him, you know, representing the Senate and being an influence, you know, on the students and the student athletes in the Cleveland public schools?
Very important. I mean, it goes way back, man. Like I was watching. They got the on Instagram. They got the Muni League little thing, their little page, and he was on there. And I'm talking about this is like 80s and early 90s and until now. So he basically know all of the kids from each high school if they played ball because of the Muni League and the Pop Warner thing that he was, part of as well. So he's watching kids come up from 5, 6 years old to all the way to high school, graduating, going on to college and things like that, man. I'm at a loss of words, man, because Mr. Jackson was just one of those guys that was a staple in the community.
Coach Ginn, how much did he have his involvement? Talk about his involvement in the Muni League.
Well, he knew everybody. He knew the people, that ran the Muni League. He'd go back farther than the 80s. He'd go back to
see, that's where I was born.
It go back to the 60s, man, 67. He coached me. He did it all, man. He whooped me. He was all that. So he been it's like Pierre telling, and Pierre younger than me. Talking about he's the community guy. He know them all, man. It goes back to being proud and striving to be the best. That's what he always was trying to do for the children and for our community, for our city, for our school system. But you just can't do that and don't be in the hood. He gonna be in the hood. He gonna be around all of it, man.
Oh, he'll roll up on you on the street.
Yeah.
You be at the corner store.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, what you doing?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, see, we gonna miss people like that. Them legends, just like you see me. I don't care where I stay. You gonna find me in the hood. You understand? Because you can't influence or have any expectation for children if you ain't in where they in. You ain't in there. If they don't see your face, that's how he was. He'll pull up anyway. He'll pull up to my practice. He'll pull up and say, "What that boy named Pierre? What Pierre do?" That's what he do. Every state championship team that he ever had, he made sure that they got something. He made sure that he put on some type of show or something because he was proud of that, man. It's all he talked about. How many championships he had while he been the commissioner? How many kids went to college? He was proud of that, man, because we was working against all odds all the time in the city, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been that forever. Through busing, through all that. He was part of all that. So when he got himself in position to make change, that's what he did. That's what that's how I was raised. Make change, do what's right, help people. That's what and we losing a legend. Man, that's what I fight every day. And I'm 60, 64. I'm still fighting what people taught me. You know what I'm saying? We can be the best. We can be the best in the world. Those people taught me. Everybody, it's not about no football. It ain't about none of that. It's about raising children. It's about creating men and women and teaching, and the kids are learning. See, we got this thing all mixed up. You got people like Big Jack. Big Jack and them was saying, this is what you better do. You understand? This is how it went. The same thing that I tell Pierre. You understand? No excuse. That's the kind of stuff that's missing, man. And that's a lot of knowledge and a lot of legacy that's gone away from this earth, man, around here. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, he would definitely, let it be known.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, he would like, man, look, I want y'all to go out here and win. I want you guys to be your best. I want you to do your best. What's up, Barbara? She got to unmute her thing first and foremost.
Everybody forget to
Oh, they
unmute.
that's me. You got to go tap it, Barbara, and unmute your phone. She can't even hear.
I got y'all on mute. I hear you. I hear you.
We got you. We got you now. Oh, now she muted.
Yeah. Now I'm back.
What's up,
Hey,
Champ?
Bob,
What's up, y'all?
how you doing?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
good.
Good as an athlete.
Hey, Barbara, sorry about my logo up there. For some reason, my face won't show up. So,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
but I got a few gray hairs since the last time you saw me.
Oh, man. You got some gray hairs?
Yeah, got a little bit.
We all getting up there, I guess.
But it's just, it's a lot, man.
So yeah, Barbara, we're talking about, great Leonard Jackson. And as I asked Pierre, what do you remember the first time you met him? And we talked about his voice, and he's a big dude. I mean, what are some of your early memories when he came in the halls of East Tech?
Man, early memories of Leonard Jackson. I mean, if I could think back that far, I feel like I'm so old, but I'm not. But I just remember him when we were getting ready for the city championship playoffs, and him coming in and speaking to us, and basically telling us how to present ourselves and how he wanted us to go out and work our hardest, and just be great student athletes as well. Just his voice, like you said, it meant everything, and just how he just always wanted us to look and be our best back in school. So that's what I probably remember the most about Leonard Jackson.
How important was the community aspect of Leonard Jackson to make sure he came and visited the schools, that he knew the student athletes by name?
Right.
How important was that to you and to East Tech and to the whole community?
It was very important to me, and especially, in the area of where East Tech is in, there's, I guess you would say there's not a lot of hope in that area. So the fact that he always came and showed, his appreciation, and showed that he wanted to, know everybody by name, like you said, it made everybody feel valuable. It made everybody want to aspire to be something in the future, because, you have somebody to look up to, and because he wasn't afraid, like you said, to go around to each school and get to know people, get to know the environment, get to know the community and everything. So he just basically encouraged great things from every community, as far as I know and as far as I can remember.
Yeah, he just always wanted the best for everybody. I mean, you think about it, like the encouragement that you would get from your coaches, this would be the same encouragement you get from him.
Yep.
And men feel and it was just always like that. Like they just always show love to everybody, and it's just crazy. Like to find out that someone has passed by looking on a timeline through Facebook,
right?
Which was like the craziest thing ever, because I was just like shocked.
Yeah.
Normally I see him at football practice. He come down and be like, "What's up, here?" He'll just ride down on you. He just roll wherever you at. I could be on 93rd Avenue. If he see me, he gonna say, "Hey, boy, what's going on?"
Yep.
Hey, you talk to Teddy? Hey, you seen Ginn? Like that's how it was.
But y'all know what my name was, right?
No, what?
Tylenol.
Tylenol.
He said I gave him a headache every time. In his phone, he got Tylenol.
That's crazy.
Tylenol.
That's hilarious.
But it's his fault, because listen to what everybody say. This is what Barbara said, what Pierre said, and look at the difference in ages. Now I'm 64.
Mm-hmm.
He had the same mindset then.
Oh,
when
wow.
I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
He's always been in the hood that kind of way.
Yep.
Always. He just show up and this whatever. He gonna know everybody, and he gonna have that expectation for you.
And if he don't,
he didn't even get warning. He would just show up.
Right.
Yeah, he just show up.
If he don't know a kid now, he gonna be like, "Hey, what's that boy name over there? What's that girl name right there? He gonna ask you, and you gonna say the name because you don't want to be like, no, I ain't tell you their name, Mr. Jackson.
Right.
I'll find out. I'm gonna find out.
He was so
Right.
proud of everybody, man. You know, I know him like a book, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm the child.
Right.
But he treated me worse than he treated anybody.
Oh wow.
But that's the way it was.
Yeah.
I know him. So if he done whooped me from when I was that was my 7th grade teacher. So you know how long I've been knowing him.
That's a long time.
And then
It's a long time, man. I know for me, and like I said, being, going to East Tech and being around sports there and things like that, the fact that he was always congratulatory, for any success that I had, the fact that he kept encouraging me to keep going, like keep doing what you're doing because you're bringing positive light to the community. So I just distinctly remember him year by year always being like congratulatory toward every piece of success that I had, whether it be even that, I was in National Honor Society in high school. Like he knew everything about me.
Everything.
He kept me focused. He kept me like driven toward getting to my goal. Aside from all the other people I had in my life, I distinctly remember that about him. And, the fact that he was in such a powerful position, it was even more encouraging.
So when I listen to what she said, Branson, you talking about a guy that's sitting at the highest seat, but he's down at the lowest bottom. Like he's right there with you.
Yep.
Children. Man, it's not. He didn't care nothing about the commissioner part.
Nope.
None of that. He never cared about that. He cared about knowing each kid and knowing each program and demanding you do something for the children and demanding respect and be proud of what you're doing and encourage the children. You're going to see him at open pit.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to be in this corner stove.
Yep.
Ain't nobody doing that, man. So nowadays, when, and I'm older than everybody here, but this is the part that people don't understand about the educational piece in today's time. You need people that just like that to encourage the kids to be straight A students, to understand what being a student is, how to live, how to be a young man, a young lady. See, that's what I fight with every day because of how I was raised. Now you got younger people sitting here talking now about somebody that just left a big legacy here. Just that. The same thing for 50 years.
Yep.
And then we talk about what is the goals, what the things you need to do about education. This is it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The encouragement that was given to me, that I pass along to the other kids, and then he's still here.
Yeah, to pass the torch.
So that's what you do. That's how you educate our children.
So this is for Barbara and Pierre. So with Leonard Jackson passing on, and as Coach Ginn talked about, I mean, he's not getting any younger. Are you encouraged with the administrators that are going to follow them, or?
I don't know who is
I don't know
next
who's
in
the
line. Is it male? I don't know who's next in line. I mean, Mr. Jackson been doing it for so long, and if they change it up, I don't
know if they can get that effect that he gave right away unless that's their commitment, like Coach Ginn said, unless they're committed to being more than just in that higher position, and unless they're committed to getting in the communities, getting in the schools, and speaking to each kid one by one and learning about them and learning little details. Unless they're committed to that, then I think those are going to be very, very hard shoes to fill.
It's like a dinosaur, bro. That we finna fail. That's my fight today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to know the children. You got to know the clients. See, everybody can't be in certain positions, Branson. You understand? I don't care about what you know. You know what I'm saying? If you're the right fit, you got to be the right fit. You know, you can't educate or encourage our kids if you're not the right fit.
Right.
That's true.
I'm just being honest with you, you know. So I can't get into it and say, you know, it's all about what I know. And I don't care about what you know, just like a kid don't care about what you know, you care about how much you care. You understand?
Absolutely.
And that's how it goes. See, so like when Barb was doing her thing, it was everybody. But you talking about the guy at the highest level sitting down,
I had a village, and he was a part of that village. Like when I tell people my story, that I had a village from my community, from the people at my school, from my coaches, from my teammates, my family. You know, Jackson was a part of my village.
That's right. He didn't simply say
like that, and they have hard shoes to fill, man. Like that, you committed to being that way.
Especially when you get the scholarship and you get to go on and you coming from an inner city program.
Yep.
Like East Tech, Glenville, John, like, you know what I'm saying? That means something. It means something to him, and it means something to the coaches.
It's
exactly.
one thing that's missing in today. Nobody love us like that.
Yeah.
They don't love us like that.
Love is
the love is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, I don't care about nobody's position. I don't care about none of that.
Yep.
I don't. You know what I'm saying?
So
and that's what's wrong, man. Had too much love for the kids, the community, and the state of Ohio and the district. You got to love this if you want to be in Cleveland.
Yep.
Well, it's gonna be hard to replace them. Them shoes are gonna definitely.
It's been hard already because he's been gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been hard already.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's really gone. We can't even look forward to nothing.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of Leonard Jackson, what can we do to produce the next one?
I think you got to groom them. I think you got to help them understand, like Coach Ginn said, the love has to be there first. The commitment to loving what you do and loving the kids within the community and schools is going to be the most important thing.
And being able to go to every neighborhood and just hop out on the kids like he did. Like, it's numerous times, like, you know, my junior, senior year, I stayed in Garden Valley. You know, Kinsman, he roll up on you like, what's up? Like,
what's up?
Just,
he knows.
Yep.
You know, he knew. He knew.
They got that street cred, I guess you would say.
See, I can go back to so many things. You see, it's like they stayed, teachers back when I came along stayed in the neighborhood. You know?
Yes.
So Patrick Henry, he gonna go right around the corner. They go, all the teachers and everybody, the coaches gonna be at somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna walk past, you gonna see them. You know, this was back in the 60s and the 70s. Mm-hmm. Neighborhood schools and all that kind of stuff is done. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't have people in our community that care about our kids. You don't know the kids' world. How can you educate them?
Yep.
You know, I'm just being honest. You know, I you know, this bad for me because I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get a Barbara and a Pierre without somebody loving them, caring for them, and having an expectation for them.
Yep.
And being that bridge to help them cross. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it, that means sacrifice.
Yep.
They on top of that, you gotta have somebody that's willing to back the coaches that's bringing the kids up like us. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, at the end of the day, he was willing to fight for everybody.
He didn't believe in no embarrassment.
Nope.
I'm just being honest with you, man. Anything, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. Tylenol. You know, I'm just telling you, man. It's just so it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got more to remember than these kids because I was a kid up under him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, it's really heavy on my heart. You know, because He raised me.
Yeah.
Hey, we got about 1 minute, and I just want each of you all, starting with Barbara, just again, your thoughts on Leonard Jackson and what you'd like to see as far as not letting his legacy die in vain, as far as it comes to Cleveland Public Schools.
Well, first of all, I would just want to send my condolences to his family and all the people that loved him, like a Coach Ginn, like Pierre, you know, all the kids that I'm sure whose lives he's touched in the same way. First of all, I would want to say that. And then second of all, I just want to say that I really got to just keep piggybacking off what Coach Ginn said about their to the community, their commitment to reaching out to kids, the commitment to loving the kids, the commitment to not being afraid to go into the neighborhoods and, you know, not being afraid to kind of step out of their higher position for a period of time to reach everybody. You know, I think that's going to be the most important thing for the legacy of Leonard Jackson, and to continue that on and to keep improving Cleveland Public Schools.
Okay, Pierre.
And my condolences to his families, his friends, just and somebody to replace him. I mean, he's irreplaceable, really. I mean, but at the end of the day, you got to find somebody that's definitely going to love the community, love the kids, love the Cleveland Public School system, and is willing to like go through the neighborhoods that's like he did. Besides that, I mean, it's definitely you got to love the kids, man. You got to be committed to them, and you got to love the kids, and then you got to have enough backbone to have, you know, the coaches back as well, all the coaches, because that's something that he definitely did. He definitely fought tooth and nails for those coaches, regardless of whatever it was.
Absolutely.
Okay, close us out, Coach Ginn.
Well, you know, I could say a whole lot of things, you know, but what I will say is that, you know, we lost a real legend, you know, that can really help people and children, you know. And just to think about his family, first of all, you know, what a sacrifice that they made, you understand, to give him to us. You know, I think people don't realize how much the family sacrifice, you know, to have a Leonard Jackson in the city of Cleveland for, I know, at least 50 years from me. I think that if
so that's past my age.
That's right. You know, but just that, you know, to you know, the sacrifice of his family. I think that somewhere down the road, somebody got to understand the importance of the pride and the respect that he wanted for children in the city of Cleveland. I think that we just can't allow him to leave and don't let him wake up and say, well, how did he get it done? And use some of those standards and those core values that he taught all of us. You understand? And I'm in position to be a game changer, you know, and I'm gonna continue to use those values that I was taught by him, you know, and try to make it right for our community and our kids and our city, and know that we can put our name on something and be somebody, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that we should not let that die. I think it should be a day that's dedicated to him, for the dedication that he's had for this whole city, in the political reign, in the sports reign, in the educational reign, all the way around, man. You understand? He's truly gonna be missed. He was missed already when he stepped down. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about that, you think of how many children is lost. We don't think about that. You know, that's you know, how many kids have lost because they didn't have that guidance that way. Understand? So that's how I think, man. because I get scared because I understand who I am. I know that I'm getting older, but then it's scary because I know how many kids I have touched. You understand? To become somebody. You looking at Pierre and Barb, somebody touched those kids. Somebody embraced those kids and loved them. Man, we forget about the love, man. And
Yeah.
you understand? I don't care about what you know. I want to know how much you care and how much sacrifice you gonna give.
Hey, well, I thank everybody for coming on and sharing their thoughts on Leonard Jackson. And, good to see everybody.
I know. Good to see y'all. It's good.
Not to see you.
Right. I'm going to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be right.
Yes. Yes.
Be right.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was
All
good
right,
to
Barb.
get y'all, man.
All right, Barb.
y'all.
See you, Bob. All right, son.
All right.
Everybody be safe.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Here,
Bye-bye.